The first question I have for you three is, how does it feel to be one of the top 3 salespeople in our company?
Well, I just feel blessed, you know, to be able to be in such a caliber, you know, with these guys right here, because they are great salesmen. And you know, I look at the sheet every day and I'm driven by competition, and I'll see them guys moving up, and it doesn't do nothing for me but, you know, give me the, you know, the will to keep going and to try to be among these elite guys. So I'm just very blessed to be a part of it.
Lamb?
It's a good feeling to know that you are surrounded by your peers, being in the top 3, knowing that these guys work hard, basically knowing that you got it out the mud and did what you had to do, grinded all year to get to the top.
Very honored and proud of myself, working hard throughout the whole year, but more honored because Walker has so many great salespeople, not just us 3, but in the whole organization. It's, yeah.
What did you do differently that added to your success in 2020?
I'm hard-headed, as everybody knows, and I did pick up a little bit doing it more on the quick page, more on the social media. I still got a long way to go on social media, but I need to keep going with it and moving on with it. But just staying persistent, consistent besides those. But those were the 2 main things that I picked up doing more of.
I've been in that 180, 190 category for the past 3 or 4 years. So I guess just kind of, as Brent said, keep it consistent, find some little things that can add to what's going on. You know, like I've always said, I listen to other trainers, not just Sissy and not just Joe Verdi. I talk to Brandon Hardison quite regularly, who's a corporate trainer out Georgia, you know, so just kind of finding different niches that you can get into and make it work.
One of the big things I've already mentioned, like working Facebook and, you know, keeping my face in front of my friends and family. But a lot of it too was just, I don't know, I guess just loving these younger guys at work, and, you know, they developing a relationship with them and trying to help them. And, you know, it pays off in so many different ways. And I wanted to start giving it myself this last year and trying to help other people, because I've got a lot of information in my head, and I just wanted to be a blessing to them.
How do you pump yourself up on those days where you really, when you get to work, you're like, I do not want to sell a car today? How do you motivate yourself to make that happen?
When I leave the house, I got 3 little minions that I look at and know that they gotta have things. So I look at those 3, and like with Christian, I mean, if you're doing football's expensive. The other 2 say they want to do sports. You got to have everything for them. And with Christian is you know, I asked him one time, what do you do to motivate yourself? He said, I look at me and I figure out what I need to do when I'm on the field to make sure I get my job done. And that's basically what I do. Same thing he does. Look at myself, figure out what needs to be done, and try to figure out how to accomplish it.
Kevin?
You really want to know? I look at that sheet every morning. I'm driven. That's the first thing I do when I wake up. I get up and see Mike's sheet in there, and I look at that sheet and I go, them suckers. And I'm ready to go again. So these guys really drive me. I could give you a flowery answer, but I'm not. I love watching their numbers because it doesn't do nothing for me but make me want to work harder. So yeah, that's what drives me.
You get those days, you just get into your routine where you're calling people in the morning. That just kind of gets that and get your mind off of it. And then I'll get out and I'll go and harass the girls, trivia, Danielle and stuff, and then it makes me in a better frame of mind. And joking with that'll get me going again and get back, and you're in the groove and you just do your thing. And I remember I want to retire. I want to travel, and that motivates me because I do want to retire, and to do that you got to have money.
You sure do.
Sell some vehicles.
Next question. What is your greatest asset or work habit? And that could be social media, referrals, follow-up.
I'm blessed. I'm probably one of the, as far as referrals and repeat customers, I'm probably one of the highest percentages here, because most of my customers are either they bought from me already and they know me, or somebody that knew them and sent them to me. So if you can do that, you know, I read this plaque one time. It said the highest compliment that you can pay me is the referral of a friend or relative.
Yes.
So as long as I can do that, we'll be good.
So true.
I'm sure these guys do the same thing.
Of course.
I call it the PC, persistent, consistent. I don't give up on customers. You just got to be persistent, and you got to be consistent with yourself and how you do it. But like Lamb said, you got to have the referrals and the repeats, and you got to be true to them. If not, they know it.
Coleman?
I don't know, I just, you know, it's the same with me, like they said, but I try to always fine tune the process. You know, I always remember basic things, you know, like the road to the sale. I know I say that a lot, but that's things that are in my mind that are engraved. And, you know, I think sales managers sometimes think they beat up on us, but they don't ever beat up on me enough or as much as they think they do, because at night I'm beating myself in. If a deal doesn't go the right way, or if I didn't get the proper response, or I didn't make the gross I wanted to, I'm living that deal every night in my mind, and I really do. On the way home, I'm critiquing myself every day, saying, where in the process did I not follow? What could I have said? What could I have done differently? And that's kind of that's just me.
So what advice would you give your younger self? If you look back 20 years, what advice would you give your younger self?
Marry into money. That's the number one thing, baby. Marry into money. You gotta marry.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, for me, it would be if you're gonna be in the car business, commit yourself to it earlier. I mean, I was in it for a long time, but it took, you know, the realization that, hey, this is what I got to do. You know, and a lot of y'all don't know this. In 2009, I actually started nursing school. I was getting ready to roll because I was just tired of customers beating us up, tired of the whole 9 yards. Well, lo and behold, Jana got pregnant. Christian was coming. So I said, well, nursing school might not be an option right now. So it was the commit to make the processes, make sure you do what you have to do to have what you need. That commitment, you have to have it. And the other thing about the car business, a lot of these young guys, and you've heard me say it before, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And Coleman's been in almost as long as I have. I don't know how long you've been in, Brent.
5.
So Coleman and I were at Hickson together. Long time ago. So we've known each other some years. So, I mean, but it's a sprint. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And that goes with Brent's persistent and consistent.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm gonna be as transparent as I can. I would probably tell my younger self, enjoy everything around you. Stop being in a hurry to succeed. Just take a good look and enjoy it. And another thing, if I had to tell my younger self, which a man that I love very much in life told me about 11 years ago, he had a good talk with me, and he said, okay, now Coco, it's time to be still. Root in. I love you. He said, I've been watching you. He says, super talented, but we got to root in. And if I could tell myself something a long time ago, and I'd probably be a lot further in my career, stay where you are. No matter what comes your way. You hear me, guys, at work? No matter how green the grass looks, stay where you are and you'll be blessed. So.
And just with all that too, with them, my dad's always told me that you be the best that you can be. I don't care if you're a garbage man, a teacher, a doctor, whatever it is, you be the best that you can, and you give 100% at whatever it is. So, I mean, that's it. You just can't, like they said, you can't just half-ass it. You got to do it. And it works if you work it.
What was your biggest personal growth success?
Being open to new ideas. I'm hard-headed, stubborn, doing the quick pages, Facebook, hard-headed, didn't see it, didn't want to do it. It's not how I did it before, but open to new ideas. And it's helped. I mean, y'all know how I am. But I'm doing it now. And it helps, and my numbers have gone up. I'm like Lamb, I think I've been in the top 5 or so the last few years, but this has put me even more, making more money. That's what it's about. But yeah, I'm opening.
Further than what Brent said is the fact that this business is a forever learning experience. You know, to those guys who if you come in this month, you have a good month, and then next month you think you know it all, it's gonna bite you in the butt. You know?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, whether you accept it or not, there are always things that I can learn from Coben. There are things I can learn from Brent, or there are things that I can learn from the kid that just came in off the street if you listen. You know, so you have to be, as Brent said, open. Openness is probably the biggest thing.
Probably wanted to be successful. I don't know. I guess my managers and, you know, people that are, you know, delegated to be above me, that, you know, saying, you know, finally, I guess in somewhat getting, you know, a kind of, you know, respect, you know, and they finally, and people around me trusting me now, saying, okay, he's not that wild ass he once was. We can put a little trust in him now. And I think to gain people's trust and to be in such a caliber as, you know, all these guys, I mean, you know, it's just a blessing. I don't know, I can't really pin it to one thing, but it's been a year, and it's been a year of changes. So I'm just blessed to be here.
Going forward, what are your career aspirations?
Money. Now, the real, I mean, that's why we're all here,
Heck yeah,
period.
yes.
I mean, from the top to the bottom, you're here for money. But I mean, to work on relationships with not just the customers, but with employees, trying to let them see how I am. I know I'm real serious and tense when it comes to the loans and finance and everything. But I cut up and have fun. I know a lot of people don't see that, but at the Big Lot, ask the girls, ask Trivia and Danielle, I'm a fool. But the biggest thing is just to build that relationship with more people, just not customers, but everybody.
When you focus so much on the job, it can, if you let it, take a little bit of you out. Mm-hmm. You know, I'd say probably get more in touch with myself and my family, because I miss a lot by being at work, you know. Let's say I'm unlike these guys. I started having kids late, so you know
I had my first at 10.
I'm old. No. I mean, I'm a little bit older than Coben, but I got 2 5-year-olds, you know.
And his kids are married.
His kids are married, you know. So just to enjoy, as Coben said earlier, enjoy life as it comes. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your working environment. I guess not to be so stiff sometimes, because even though it doesn't seem like I'm kind of organized, I am. But not to be able to weave my way in and out of that life and into the life that it takes to be successful.
You know, I want to learn how to give myself to people more, and I've started that last year, and I want to give myself more to people that I work with. Not so. I don't want to pass this world being a self-centered person, and all this knowledge and everything that God's given me through this business, I want to be able to pass that on to these young guys and young ladies, and I just want to be a help to people. If that's what my duty is right now, that's what I want to do. I want to help these guys.
Now, to add to what Coben's saying, if you're going to add something to these young people, they have to be willing to listen and accept it, and not say, I know. That turns me off. That turns me, I'm not finna sit there. If you know, do it your way. Mm-hmm. Now, as Coben, Brent, I have shown you, hey, we have success. We have a pattern that has worked for us. It may not quite work for you, but there are things within it that you can take out and add to what you're doing. You know,
There's your personality in it.
I remember when one of the things about Coben I used to look at, when Coben first came back to Walker, Coben could Joe Verdi. He was strong on Joe Verdi. But back then, if a customer got offered Joe Verdi, he'll tell you he had problems. Coben and I used to turn customers to each other, because if he had somebody that wasn't Joe Verdi, he'd come get me. Hey, Lamb, they're not doing what I need to do. Can you come help me? Yeah, sure, dude, whatever. That's the learning from your fellow salesman is a big part of this business. And if you're not doing that, if the younger guys aren't picking Coleman's brain or Brent or Sissy or Mike or anybody that knows the business, they're never gonna get to that level.
And let me say one more thing to that. To the new salesman and to the younger salesman, it's not about outthinking us or beating us. Use us as a tool. Pick my mind. You're gonna be number one day. You're gonna enjoy these same things, but right now, it's like chewing bubble gum. Chew it, get all the sweetness out of it, and spit the rest out. That's information.
If you had to pick a word, one word, that would be your word for 2021. That's what it was. One word going forward. What would that one word be?
Strange. It was a strange year.
For 2021.
Oh, for 2020, I'm sorry.
Yeah, for 2021. What would be one word you would pick?
It's kind of like anticipation. Because I'm kind of halfway scared and halfway excited, don't know what to expect this year.
In this business, your potential is unlimited unless you place limitations upon yourself. So I'd say unlimited would be where I'd go.
I'm gonna have to cheat. I'm gonna say relevant, number one, to keep yourself relevant with your customers and people around you. And that's by giving of yourself. And for me, humility. Because when the blessings come, to stay humble. And that's what I wanna do, because I'm in a good time in life and I wanna be a blessing to people, but I wanna stay humble.
That's a good one, humble, because in this business, you'd be number one month and number 7 the next month. You know, you'd be 0 to 0 in a heartbeat in this business. So don't get too high, don't get too low.
Especially the new guys. It's like a roller coaster for them, right?
It is. And I know I want to give a shout out to the Big Lot, because I didn't do this. This isn't a one-man show. Ray, and I give the girls hell. Trivia, Danielle, V and stuff. But without them, and Billy cleaning the cars, getting them ready, V helping me out, running to get gas if you got 2 customers, Trivia on the phone, I mean, just everybody, Mark in finance, JJ in finance, getting them in, making you extra money on that back end. I mean, it's not a one-man show at all. So I appreciate all of them. Thank y'all.